subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us to keep away from is preserving the family, is preserving the harmony, the respect, the unity of the family. Because at this lies the heart of a successful society. And let us remember the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he mentioned how the throne of Shaitan is upon the water. And every day his soldiers come to him and they say, "Oh Shaitan, I did this and that, and I did such and such." And Shaitan says, "Go away, you did nothing." Another one comes, "I did this and that, I did such and such." He says, "Go away, you did nothing." And then one of his soldiers comes. He said, "Oh Shaitan, I stayed with a man and his wife and I made them argue with each other until they separated." And then Shaitan takes him to himself. He says, "Yes, you did well, you did well." From all the things that Shaitan praises, from the things that he loves from his soldiers to cause corruption upon the face of the earth, is to divide a man from his wife. Is this not except what the evil people learned from Harut and Marut? To use magic to do what? Divide a man from his wife. This makes us understand how important the family is. Because Shaitan knows that with the corruption of society comes the corruption of the children, the family, comes the corruption of the children, comes the corruption of the society. So preserving the family for our Muslim sisters is the first advice that I must direct to them, is that you must take great care of the family. And in this regard, we want to mention two particular issues. Number one is the husband, and the second is the children. And before we embark upon our advices, which are 5 general advices, and each of them have advices within the advices, there is one general comment that is very important to make. Excuse me. And that is that a Shaitan has 2 ways to attack us. 2 directions in which he wants us to fall, and he doesn't care which one he makes us, or which direction he makes us go. Number one is to make us lazy. To make us lazy and negligent. And the other is to make us go to extremes. So let us take in this example, the example of the husband. As the wife's duty towards the husband, Shaitan will try to divert you in 2 directions. Either he will try to make you lazy concerning the rights of your husband, lazy in obeying him, lazy in pleasing him, lazy in making yourself look beautiful and pleasing and attractive to him. He will make you lazy in fulfilling your rights and your obligations towards him. This is one direction in which the Shaitan will try to take our noble sisters. The other direction is to make you extreme in obedience to your husband, so that even if he orders you with disobedience to Allah, and if he orders you to do something haram, you will do it. And Shaitan doesn't care to which extreme he takes you. But in reality, the balance is between the two. Yes, the obedience to the husband is extremely important. To beautify yourself for him, to fulfill his rights. But there is no obedience to the creation in disobedience to Allah. If your husband orders you to disobey Allah or to do something that is haram, there is no obedience to him in that. And this is the first thing that we want to mention concerning the relationship between the wife and the husband. And the first advice we want to give our sisters: take care of your rights and your obligations to your husband, but do not go to the extreme of obeying him in disobedience to Allah. And we remember once when I was, well, this is quite a long time ago, I remember once that in London I had gone into a McDonald's to have a coffee, and there were some women from Kuwait who were sitting there, who were not wearing any hijab. So we decided that we would advise our sisters in Islam, this is not the dress, you are from the land of the Muslims, you are from the Arabs, how is it that you are like this? And one of them said, I want to wear hijab, but my husband won't let me. So we said, but there is no obedience to the creation and disobedience to Allah. She said, well, if I wear hijab, he will divorce me. I said, subhanallah, why do you want to stay married to a man like that? So this is the extreme. Her obedience to her husband took her to an extreme that she disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It should not be like that. There is the other extreme, where some women are so lazy to fulfill the rights of their husbands. They do what they like, they say what they like, they behave in any way that they like, and they do not bother and take attention to make themselves look attractive for their husbands, so much that when the husband comes home, instead of finding his house a refuge from the evils, he comes from the society when he sees the naked women, he sees all the evils, and he comes back home, his wife looks like a shaitan and behaves like a shaitan. So what will he do? He will say, Assalamu alaikum, and he will go out back into the society, and it is only a matter of time before he will fall into evil. So this is why you can understand how the Muslim woman's role is very important. She has a very important role in helping to preserve her husband and protect him and care for him, and thus by extension help protect the Muslim Ummah from corruption. The second thing that we want to advise concerning the family are the children. Of course, concerning the children, there are two things really that need to be taken into account, and that is preserving and looking after the children's health. Preserving and looking after the children's health and their clothing and their general upkeep in a physical sense, and also giving them the love, the care and the attention that they need from their mother. It is very important for the mother to give the children that love and that care and attention and not to neglect them. And the other thing that is also important to mention concerning the children is to teach them good manners. To teach them good manners. And the best way to teach good manners is through yourself having good manners. I once had an experience with a family, and the lady of this family or the woman of this family complained of the behavior of her children towards her. They never listened to her. They spoke to her in the most rude and unpleasant manner, and they were very disobedient. And it was like her life was hell. But when in fact